Alright, so if you guys follow me on any of my other pages like Facebook, Twitter, whatever, then you'll know I recently went and saw the latest movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thor Ragnarok. Now, even though I don't want to get too in-depth about it since I want to do a review and an Easter egg video later on, I do want to say that I thought it was a great movie. It was super fun and it had tons of action, great music, plus that Thor Hulk fight was awesome. Way better than the one we got 5 years ago. Seriously, that was 5 years ago now. Damn, where's the time going? But anyways, one of the biggest hype moments for me was the first of the movie's 2 post-credit scenes. The second one's really just a funny scene involving Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster. It doesn't really set up or tie into anything, but the first one is actually a major setup for the upcoming Avengers Infinity War movie, and it explains some of what we saw in the trailer that was shown at / leaked from the San Diego Comic-Con. Seriously, this is so awesome. Before I start talking about the scene in question though, I just want to point out that I'm going to be talking in detail about a scene in a movie that only just recently came out, so if you don't want to know anything at all about Thor Ragnarok, then here's a spoiler tag. Anyways, let's get into it. So the scene in question involves Thor and Loki on a ship with the remaining Asgardian people after the place is destroyed by Surtur. They talk about how they're heading to Earth where they'll rebuild Asgard, with Loki apparently nervous about going back to Midgard after what he put some of its people through during 2012's The Avengers. Thor reassures him that everything's gonna be fine, just as this massive ship suddenly shows up, ominous music in tow, and boom, that's it. Kinda short, but like I said, this is still pretty huge because what we're seeing is not just the lead into Infinity War, but also the first time one of Earth's mightiest heroes has a run-in with the Mad Titan Thanos. See, Kevin Feige confirmed in an interview with The Wrap earlier this week that this ship is actually called the Sanctuary 2. If you kept up with your Marvel history, then you should remember that Thanos' ship in the comics is called Sanctuary, a name that James Gunn transferred over to this rocky patch of space in 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy. And even without the Kevin Feige confirmation, it makes sense that this would be Thanos and not somebody else or a group of other beings like the Black Order. Remember, in the leaked Comic-Con trailer, we saw a bruised and battered Thor meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy after they fly through a bunch of debris and he lands on their windshield. I don't know about you guys, but for right now, I don't really see the children of Thanos being able to put that kind of hurting on Thor, especially after what all he goes through in Ragnarok. But anyways, we have confirmation straight from Kevin Feige himself that this is Thanos' ship. But why would Thanos even be there in the first place? I mean, he could just be there to get revenge on Loki, but why would he even think Loki's alive? Remember, Loki faked his death during the fight with Curse in Thor the Dark World, so unless Thanos is checking in on him all the time and saw him switch places with Odin, he really shouldn't have been able to figure out that Loki was alive the whole time. Then again, he could have something that detects Infinity Stones, right? Malekith and the Dark Elves were able to sense the ethers, so who says Thanos couldn't use some gadget or whatever to do the same thing? But wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense, right? The Asgardians don't have Infinity Stones on their ship. Well, here's the thing. Towards the end of Ragnarok, Loki's running through Odin's treasure room to toss Surtur's crown into the Eternal Flame, something that's supposed to bring about the end of Asgard. And on the way, Loki notices the Tesseract and kind of pauses for a minute. Given his reaction, I think it's entirely possible that Loki just took the cube while he was in the vault. I mean, we've already seen Loki holding the Tesseract in the Infinity War trailer, so we know he gets a hold of it somehow. And because Asgard's kind of, destroyed after the events of Ragnarok, I think it's safe to assume he smuggled the Infinity Stone out of the Realm Eternal before Surtur wipes it off the map. So now the real question is, why did he take it? I mean, surely he would have known that Thanos would check around where Asgard used to be and come looking for it after he didn't find it. And I know it's really easy to just write him off and go, oh, Loki's just taking it to betray Thor, he's just a bad guy, he's just trying to give the Infinity Stone to Thanos. But that doesn't really make any sense either. If Loki wanted to betray everybody, why wouldn't he just leave the Tesseract in the vault? We know Infinity Stones are really tough to destroy.
Shall we destroy it?
If only we could, but its power is too great.
Hell, Loki himself saw that they're really tough to destroy. So it's entirely possible that this one could have survived Ragnarok. No, instead I'm thinking Loki took it for safekeeping, to keep it out of Thanos' hands. He knows better than anybody on that ship what exactly Thanos would do if he got the stones, and I like to think that he maybe wised up after working with Thanos and decided maybe giving an all-powerful space object to a crazy purple guy isn't the best thing in the world to do. Alright, so assuming I'm correct and Loki took the Infinity Stone to hide it from Thanos, what happens in between Thanos finding the Asgardians and the Guardians of the Galaxy finding Thor? Well, obviously Thor, and maybe Loki, assuming I'm right, will fight Thanos, given that the Mad Titan is a major threat to the last of the Asgardian people, and since we saw Thanos with the Space Stone in the leaked Infinity War trailer, I think it's safe to assume that he wrecks Thor and the ship the Asgardians are on, leaving him floating around out in space to get picked up later. That having been said though, there is one thing that bugged me when I came up with this theory. Where are all the other Asgardians? If Thanos completely destroys Thor in a fight and wrecks his ship, wouldn't the other Asgardians be floating around in the wreckage too? True, they could have been CGI'd out of the scene or something. We know Marvel's willing to selectively edit something to preserve a big surprise or whatever, but I'm wondering if maybe Loki had something to do with it. Like maybe he used the Tesseract to teleport everybody except him and Thor out of the area so they didn't get in the way or get hurt while they're fighting Thanos or something like that. Either way, I guess we won't really get any more details about this, at least until Infinity War comes out in the spring of next year. But anyways guys, that's the full breakdown on the mid-credit scene for Thor Ragnarok and my theories on how that scene scene ties into Avengers Infinity War. If you guys have your own theories you want to throw out there, then don't forget to let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to click that like button, maybe leave me a comment while you're at it, and go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to check out any of my social media pages. I've got a Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. All those links are going to be in the description below. And I've also got my last video right there in the middle of your screen. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and click it, check it out. Alright, and I will see you all next time.